The Rise of Skywalker is set to introduce many new elements to the Star Wars franchise that fans have never seen before on the big screen by director J.J. Abrams. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. So, one thing about this movie that a lot of fans are really looking forward to is, of course, Darth Sidious, also known as Palpatine, and exactly how he's going to be used and utilized in the third act of the movie when it comes to his interactions with Kylo Ren and Rey in this movie. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions, this is where things begin to get very exciting for Episode 9. Now, specifically, shot descriptions consisting of both Kylo Ren and Rey fighting on top of the Death Star wreckage in the middle of a rainstorm, where it's described that both Kylo and Rey's lightsabers are locked into place, where Rey is begging Kylo to stop all of this, where as their sabers are locked, a bolt of lightning strikes a part of the wreckage that causes Kylo and Rey to fall and slide down to the lower portion of the wreckage, where Rey is now said to be hanging onto the edge, where she eventually makes her way back up to Kylo Ren. One of the moves that Kylo performs is a moment in which he sprints toward her and knocks her down to the ground, and just as Kylo is about to strike Rey down, is when the laughter of Darth Sidious can be heard where the new villain appears. It's said that eventually all three characters engage in a flash fight, here and there throughout the battle, where they are brought back to Palpatine's throne room from Return of the Jedi, where an empty throne is seen in the background. Palpatine / the Dark Acolyte figure is taking on Rey and Kylo with ease. It's described that somehow Palpatine is able to interrupt their flash fights on and off throughout the entire saber duel. One of the sequences even involves a moment in which Palpatine force grabs Kylo's crossguard, and Kylo is left defenseless, where Rey is said to step in and defend Kylo, going up against two sabers in the hands of Palpatine briefly. So I want to go over a couple of parts about this. Now, the Death Star wreckage being the main battle area that is going to be used as a conduit, in a sense, from what it seems, for the flash fights between not just Kylo and Rey, but also Palpatine. Now, this really does raise a big question here. How is Palpatine able to interrupt the flash fights or even enter the flash fight sequences between all three characters, Rey, Kylo, and himself? Now, this seems like that JJ really is raising the bar when it comes to lightsaber duels and exactly what's going to be made possible through the use of the Force, and how that's all going to be utilized in this movie. So first things first, I want to go over one of the most epic moments out of all of this, is the moment in which Kylo Ren is left defenseless, where Palpatine is said to force grab his crossguard lightsaber out of his hand, where now Palpatine has his regular Crimson Blade lightsaber, as well as Kylo's crossguard in the other hand, which is the moment in which Rey is said to defend Kylo Ren and defend him, where she's fighting against Palpatine briefly, by use of the Anakin / Luke Skywalker lightsaber going up against two sabers. Now, I don't know if a lot of people are going to view this as Rey being overpowered, or if it's a little too much or a little too over the top for Rey to have the ability to go up against Palpatine using two sabers in order to defend Kylo Ren while he's defenseless. But I will say that we'll have to wait and see exactly how it's going to be used on the big screen. It's said to be a very brief moment between both Palpatine and Rey. Now, the other part that I do want to go over is before Palpatine makes his entrance, is where there's a bolt of lightning during this rainstorm that strikes the Death Star wreckage, where it actually causes both Rey and Kylo Ren to fall down the wreckage to a lower level. And this lower level is said to be the moment in which Palpatine makes his first appearance. So, what's really intriguing about this film is that the Death Star wreckage really is going to be a big part of the end of the second act of the film, leading into the third act of Episode 9. In fact, it's said that the Death Star is going to be a part of the upcoming synopsis of The Rise of Skywalker that will be unveiled over at San Diego Comic-Con this July. So, I'm really excited to see exactly how JJ is going to use the character of Palpatine, how long this lightsaber duel is really going to be. You guys may recall we talked about this 6 months ago, is that JJ has a big plan in place in order to make this lightsaber duel top the Anakin versus Obi-Wan lightsaber duel from Episode 3. I don't know about you guys, but to me, I feel it's going to be a very big challenge, and I'm not quite sure if JJ is going to be able to top that lightsaber duel from Revenge of the Sith. Again, it's too soon to say, whether or not it's going to, but the fact that JJ has that plan in place in order to really make this lightsaber duel not only more lengthy than the one that we saw in episode 3, but also more epic, more action-packed, with more surprising moments in it, right? Because we do know that this duel is not just going to be a regular duel, it's going to be a flash fight, or multiple flash fights, if you will, that's going to lead to certain revelations between both characters, Kylo Ren and Rey, in the story. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.